Parsha is entitled Revisiting the Fifth Day of Creation. Fifth day, we had the fish, creepy crawlies, the birds, all created, and the bees as well. So a recent discovery regarding the bee is just phenomenal. You really get to see God's chachma. So everyone in the hive is servicing the bee. All the service bees, they have one purpose, just to help the queen bee. That's it. They can't be involved in any of their own functions. So even the female worker bees will not lay eggs, will not produce any new bees. And the question, of course, is how does that work? So we understand that the goal is for all members of the hive to be focused on the queen bee. So that makes sense that that's the goal. But how does it work? How does it work that these worker bees, that females, they're not producing new bees during the time that they're in the hive as worker bees helping out the queen bee? This applies to wasps and desert ants as well. Same thing. Now, while the worker ants and worker wasps are with the queen ant or the queen wasp, no one's giving birth except for the queen. So it makes sense that that would be a good goal, but how does it work? So science has been studying it, and they've realized that the queen bee produces what's called a pheromone, a certain kind of chemical, and that chemical, while it is in the air around the beehive, it inhibits the female bees from developing their ovaries. And therefore, they cannot give birth during that time. Once they're removed, they'll be able to redevelop again. But during the time with the queen bee, there's one function only, and the chemical secreted by the queen makes sure that everyone is focusing on one thing and one thing only, and the ovary and the reproduction system is off. It's on strike during that time. Once again, we see God created the world, created the bees. We see it. Oh, very nice, interesting. Make sure you don't get stung. There's so much chachma, so much wisdom behind every little piece of this universe. Here, these scientists spent years trying to make sense of this one tiny point. It's just scratching the surface of God's magnificent universe. So this gives us a new insight into day 5 of the creation of the queen bee, the queen desert ant, and the queen wasp. Shalom.